運が悪かったんだよ、お前らは。
遅かったじゃねえか、桐生。
桐生さん、こいつらが
チンピラよ。桐生よ、俺は今日目を疑ったよ。極道なめてんのかてめえは。堂島の親父が死んで俺らは風間組に組み込まれた。極道の理想か知んねえが甘っちょれえ組長よ。撃たれて当然の器だ。
なら本人の前でいやどうですか。こんなとこででけえ口叩かずな。
てめえ誰に口聞いてやがる。
俺たちの親は堂島の親父だけだった。お前が殺したんだ。
親父が先に待ってるぜ。切れ。
They acknowledge that their boss is in hell. The Kazuma family. Not former Dojima. Not former Dojima family. Oh yeah, thanks Yuya. You're really helping out. You're really looking out for your girlfriend here. You're really doing a good job for everyone. Thanks, Yuya. Oh, I can't pick up the tape. I can't pick up the TV. Can I pick up the Go board? Oh, did you see the table flipping out in the background? Oh, fuck. Can I use the Go? No! I wanted to beat him up with the Go board.
これで終わりじゃねえぞ、桐生。親殺しの楽園はな、てめえがくたばるまで消えやしねえんだ。
背負ってくさ。10年前にそう決めた。
It wasn't your burden to bear, Kiryu. It wasn't your fate. You took Nishiki's burden onto yourself. You took another man's fate. And because of that decision, Kiryu and Nishiki and Yumi have all suffered because of that choice.
桐生さん、何かお礼したいんですけど、今こんなものしか。
Anyway, wanna come see more titties? Come see more titties.
バカ！お前そんなもん渡してどうすんだよ。
だって。
Let me repay you for rescuing me by inviting you to come see more titties. Yeah. I reiterate that it is very weird for Yuya to invite Kiryu to come see his girlfriend do a strip show. Host Club White Tiger. I would go there. Okay, there's a couple of side sub-stories that are open now, so we're gonna walk around triggering them before we want to. I do like how the original game, at least, has these kind of natural breakpoints where it makes sense to just walk around the city. Like, there's not an urgent, like, oh shit, things are going down with the plot. You gotta go do the thing. Oh, sub-stories. That happens in the series later on, but in this game, there's moments of downtime like this which really give you the opportunity to just run around and do weird shit.
Oi.
Quick, answer the dead man's cell phone. This has never gone poorly for you before. I think if you don't answer it, the sub-story just immediately ends.
Nani?
This guy's got a flip phone in 2005. Think about that. Kiryu's got like a shitty Samsung phone. This homeboy's got a flip phone. A Samsung brick. Oops. Yeah, so all this dialogue with Kiryu being like, I gotta let him know. Nope, ellipses. Oh shit, I'm getting a phone call. Answers it.
Oi.
You don't have to do that, Kiryu. You can just not. You can just not do it. Do you see what I'm talking about? How Kiryu just, like, follows orders even when it's completely random bullshit and it's probably a bad idea for him to do it? This is the kind of man that Kiryu is. Imagine the shit that Kazuma, like, orchestrated for him to do when he was in power. If this is the kind of shit that Kiryu is doing, just running around the city. You see why his suit is gray?
Nani?
This isn't Metal Gear, Baka. Okay, so C1.
Oi.
I mean, you know that there's a hit. Damn. Maybe I'll get some answers if I continue going along with this incredibly shady bullshit. This is not something a reasonable person does, Kiryu. So, I'll finally explain these coin lockers. So, as you go throughout the game, there's a bunch, you've seen it, that I've been collecting a bunch of coin locker keys. So, coin lockers are a thing in Japan. Where, like, if you're running around the city all day, eventually you're like, well, I want to buy shit, or I've got this luggage, but I don't have a place that I'm staying for the night, right? I don't have, like, a hotel here in Tokyo that I'm staying at. So instead of carrying shit around with you all day, you want a place where you can just drop it off close to a transit center. So usually you'll have coin lockers in or near the train stations. so that you can just drop shit off without needing to carry it around with you all day. And there's actually a weird little, like, culture surrounding the coin lockers, because there was this reasonably, I don't know if it was famous, but influential book about, like, a kid who was, like, raised in a coin locker, or, like, it was a baby, I think. Like, someone left a baby in a coin locker. And that, there was a book written about it, and I think the book, like, inspired a character in Silent Hill 4. Like, the developers of Silent Hill 4 were like, I read this fucked up book about a baby being left in a coin locker and how that fucked him up for life. So that inspired us to make this weird serial killer as part of our story. So as you go through the game, you'll collect... It's just one of those things to add like, stuff to do around the city. A nice little, you know, scavenger hunt style collectible. As you're going around the city, you might see the little glint of collectible coin locker keys that you can pick up. And then you'll get extra shit, and usually it's like a weapon, or a healing item, or some kind of crafting material, or something that you can just sell and be done with it. Or a gambling item. But in the first game in particular, a lot of the coin lockers were associated with sub-stories. Where you'd have a character tell you, okay, here's the coin locker, or you'd get it as a reward for finishing a sub-story. And it would play into, you gotta go to the coin locker and get the thing out of the coin locker as part of the sub-story. You don't really see that so much later on in the series, because they kept the coin lockers and the sub-stories separate as part of the completion list, because the coin lockers are a part of the completion list in the game, where if you want to get 100% completion, you gotta open all the coin lockers to get all the coin locker keys. But then there's also the sub-stories, and they're a separate part of the completion list. So they didn't want... Like, originally, it was just a grab bag of bullshit. But eventually they were like, we don't want you to have to do all of the sub-stories as part of the completion list for the coin lockers, and vice versa. So they started to become less related to each other. So that adds something to the flavor of this original game. How, god fucking damn it, Majima, how you'd have sub-stories that relate to this collectible scavenger hunt that you might be doing around the city. I don't know how, like, common it might be to think, oh, I'm wandering around Tokyo, I found this coin locker key. Let's go fucking open it up and see what's in there. To someone living in Japan. But coin lockers are, you know, something that they would have familiarity with. So the idea of including it for flavor makes a lot of sense. And I think the idea of, like, the coin lockers being used for duplicitous intent by these criminals who are like, okay, we hid the knife that you gotta kill him with in the coin locker. Go pick up the knife from the coin locker. I think that's kind of fun. That's kind of a fun idea. Fuck off, Majima. I'm doing sub-stories, my dude. That is the downside, though, because at least in a new game, eventually the Majima Everywhere encounters will stop as part of, like, the main story. As you're going through, eventually he'll be like, okay, I'm done fighting you for a little bit, and you'll have a break. Which is also unfortunate, because it means you can't grind out the Dragon of Dojima style as much as you might want to until you progress in the story. But at least, like, it stops eventually. In a New Game Plus, it's just Majima Everywhere, heedless of whatever's going on in the plot. It's so annoying. Dun dun dun. Kiryu's 6 feet tall. Fuck.
Oi.
I feel like this dialogue is not necessary, right? I think, you know, you don't need to have Kiryu say what we're all thinking. Again, I think it kind of stands out what was added as part of, like, 10 years later Yakuza writing compared to what was actually in the original game. I said this before and I'll say it again, it really annoys me when they write it first name, like given name first, family name second like that. In Japanese, they would say, "You're Kiryu Kazuma," not "You're Kazuma Kiryu." It really bothers me, especially when it's voice acted. How come he gets called an assassin? Wasn't the guy who was killed in the alley the assassin? The guy who hires the assassin is not an assassin. That's not how that works. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, thanks. That narrows it down.
Oi.
What's Kiryu's pithy comment gonna... Oh, he doesn't have one this time. Let's invent what Kiryu's pithy little comment would have been. Huh, I guess in the world of the Yakuza underworld, these things happen. I don't know. In this world, it's kill or be killed. But sometimes, you get killed before you get the chance to kill him back. I don't know. I'm not good at writing Kiryu's, like, folksy wisdom. So we're gonna buy something real quick to save some time. I hope it's actually available for me to buy, because sometimes items that you need as part of a sub-story aren't purchasable until you actually trigger the sub-story, so let's find out. But this should save some time, I hope. Yep, they're not available. That's so annoying. I hate that shit. So the next sub-story is a new sub-story. The next two was added as part of Kiwami. It's an extreme sub-story. And let me know if you can tell the difference in the quality of the writing between this new added sub-story and the sub-stories we've been dealing with that were in the original PS2 game. Because the difference is, like, so extreme sometimes. It's really funny. Even if you get aside the fact that for a lot of the old sub-stories, they add a bunch of new writing to them. Kiwami writing. Extreme.
Nani?
So you can tell that this sub-story is different, even compared to the sub-story we just did. And even given that a lot of the original game's sub-stories had new writing added to them, but compare this to the one we just did, or the price of an F cup, or the trading, like the paperclip trading sub-story. Like, Kiryu has so much dialogue during this sub-story, it's crazy. We ran into the street. We body slammed the cabs. And this is a style of sub-story that you'd get a lot in later Yakuza games, where it's literally just Kiryu having a conversation with someone, and like having little dialogue choices. Compared to, say, a lot of the sub-stories from the original game, which were run around and get into a fist fight, or like go to a location, or pick up a coin locker key. This sub-story has no combat. It's just Kiryu talking to this girl and picking a dialogue choice. Doggy boys! Lock leg lads. Lock knee that now. Keeper coons. And also pencil dicks. Also, obviously, this sub-story is big sequel to Yakuza 0 vibes. But you don't need to have played Yakuza 0, because Kiryu is 30 years old. Obviously, he would have been alive during the 80s. You don't need to know what Kiryu was doing during the 80s to know that he was running around during the 80s and would have had these experiences. So it's not like, oh, you're missing out on the substance of this sub-story if you didn't play Yakuza 0. No, it's fine. I mean, like, you'll always have stuff like that in a story where a character will be like, oh yeah, I did that as a kid. Or, yeah, I remember my parents did that, whatever. You don't need to see it to just have it as a nice little character detail. And you don't need to have played it in order to know what the correct answers are. These are usually pretty obvious. Like, obviously it's not a sailor dress and a katana. And a leotard and a ribbon, that doesn't sound like something you'd wear at a disco party, does it? No. So that process of elimination, you can figure out what the answer is just from going, yeah, these answers are clearly not the correct ones. And that's usually how sub-stories like this go, where you're given 3 possible choices, and 2 are very obviously just wrong. It's not usually like oh, you really need to know the right answer. It's you need to have the common sense to know which are the wrong answers.
Nani?
Although I do think I want to know what the what the dialogue would have been if I picked a sailor suit and a katana. It's like, what? Why would they wear a sailor suit and a katana? Well, sometimes zombie attacks happen, you know? You gotta be ready for that shit. I'll just hang out in this club for the next 5 days waiting for you. No, you didn't, because I went and checked. I went and checked at the Don Quixote before coming here, and they did not have them on sale. I very deliberately remember checking there, and they did not have them. God damn you, Kiryu. No. See that? You see that? That's a Majima Everywhere encounter waiting to happen, and I'm not gonna... Nope. Not happening. Ignore everything that was not in the original PS2 game. That's my philosophy. I recommend playing Yakuza Kiwami first, but ignore certain things. You just gotta ignore them, because they're really dumb. Ignore the Majima Everywhere system. Ignore the Pocket Circuit Racer. They're dumb and bad, and they should not be in the game. And I don't like the fact that the style switching is in the game either, although there's really nothing you can do about that. See, those weren't there. Fuck you, Sub-Story. How dare you? Tried to outsmart me outsmarting you. Did I need to check something real quick. Yeah, okay. I did that already. Y'all bitches. Look at these computers. What the fuck is with that? Why does this dance club just have computers set up? Does no one think that's weird? I think that's weird. Yeah, they weren't cheap, bitch. Time to reuse a character model we made for Yakuza 0. Are you ready? Oh, they let you smoke in the club. It's crazy. Yeah! Asset reuse! Hooray! 3 cheers for asset reuse. Don't know why that keeps happening.
What? Nani?
You want to say that shit to my face? Sure, whatever. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Wah, 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 wah. Yes, but only I get the fan. All of you must... Her milkshakes are literally bringing all the boys to the yard. And they're like, it's better than yours. And damn right, it's better than yours. She can teach you, but she'll have to charge. What a skeezy hat to be wearing in a club like this. Her walking animation could not handle those stairs. Those 3 steps really just fucked up that whole scene. That was funny.
そうだな。
Who's this creep? Yamada. Oh, what a coincidence! Dun dun dun. I don't think the director gets to decide that. I'm pretty sure we have casting directors for a reason. Maybe he said, like, he said he's director Yamato. Maybe he just left out the fact that he's the casting director and not the actual director of the film. But you can't just be like, yeah, the director can't just be like, yeah, this chick's gonna play the lead role. Like, no, that's not how the industry works, dude. We have a system. You're not getting paid to do this. Throw that shit in the trash. Especially with your penis. Bwomp bwomp dwan. Next sub-story. Disco Queen of Love. Like a dragon. Titles don't work like that, Japan. Japan! Titles don't work like that! You can't do this! Can't keep getting away with it. This sub-story really got fucked up by the Kiwami. This is not an extreme sub-story.
What?
Hoodlums.
Nani?
Kazuma. Okay. Let's keep an eye out on this sign to help this man like we said we would. By leaving entirely and coming back later. You can actually see the exclamation mark appeared on the map.
What?
Stop that. Quick, towards Tahe Boulevard. Tahe Boulevard. God damn it, I'm so bad at street names, to be honest with you. Even normal street names. I've said it before, but I am a landmark. I navigate by landmarks. I'm not good at navigating by street names. That is probably the flimsiest excuse for a fight during a sub-story we've had so far. And we've had a lot of flimsy excuses for fights during sub-stories. Time to murder this guy for doing graffiti. By breaking his fucking neck. Dun dun dun. Usually. I mean, I've heard of some specific situations where it was warranted, but usually it's just not something that's done. Yeah, I guess when you say it like that, it kind of is retarded. I should make sure that this has a heartwarming yet way too simplistic resolution. Let's go. Let's leave these Yakuza gangster members that I beat the shit out of where they're laying and go back over here to see this resolution. What are you talking about? This is how the Kiwami version of the sub-story kind of ruined it, because he just sprayed a line. He just sprayed a red, like, squiggle. In the original PS2 game, like, the camera was zoomed out and you couldn't really see it because of the isometric camera angle, but, like, he made, like, a graffiti art. He did, like, a tag, you know? He tagged the restaurant with a graffiti. He didn't just go, like, spray, spray, spray. So, that line of dialogue kind of doesn't make any fucking sense. That is like way too much money considering what we actually did. You're right, Kiryu. Your simplistic wisdom... Communication is key. If they figured out from this incident, that's a huge step. Good luck with your dream. Another piffy comment to put in the book, Kiryu. Fuck off, Majima. Okay, there's a couple more sub-stories that we can do out in the city. In the city. Fuck off. Bitches. Look at this guy running in circles. Look at him go. God, are you fucking kidding me? So annoyed. Sincerely annoyed. Anyway... So I feel like this is a sub-story that might have worked a little bit. That's the shame of it. Is like this is a sub-story that like I think probably worked a lot better when it was, you know, the isometric camera angle, and the camera angle would change as you went through different screens that had to load in, and the NPCs would just like be completely random. So the idea of like walking through this area and like having this random NPC who's running around in circles run up to you and trigger the sub-story would have been a lot more like, whoa, what the fuck? Like it just came out of nowhere at you. Whereas in this, we deliberately went looking for him and he had a big icon over his head. Man on the run. Man on the run. Oh. Here's a fucking key, you dumb shit idiot. Why did that take so long? Yeah, a lot of rewards for sub-stories in this original game were coin locker keys, which is really weird looking back. Again, it's one of those things that doesn't really work if you play this game after playing any other game of the series, because the original game, like, it was a janky little PS2 game made in 2005. They didn't know what they were doing yet. So much of it was experimental that as you get so much more appreciation for it starting out with this game and then seeing how the series evolved out later on, compared to playing a game made 10 years after the original game and then going back to the original game. It just doesn't work that way. That's not how time works. Playing the games in order is the way you should play them. Any other argument is ass retarded and wrong. Oh, but it's chronological order. That's not how time works. That's not how time works. It was made in 2016. You fucking idiots. I take out my rage on you with this fucking traffic cone. Damn it. Time doesn't work this way. Oh. So this charismatic photo is an item that's in a lot of the games. If you wear this item, it'll increase the amount of random encounters you get into. And I think that it's supposed to be a picture of Nagoshi or something like that. I think in some games the picture they use is a picture of Nagoshi, but I think they might have changed that. It's just a dumb little item they threw in. Oh yeah, let's have a picture of Nagoshi in there. I don't think it's a picture of him anymore, but in the PS2 game, it was definitely a picture of Nagoshi. Kiryu, just walk... Okay, I don't know how it works in Japan, but... Don't talk to the cops. It's not illegal to walk around the town without ID. You don't have to show the cops your ID just because they ask for it. You don't have to talk to the cops at all. What is he gonna arrest you for? Just walk away. Oh my god. Yeah, as with every Yakuza sub-story, say yes to everything until they ask for money. If they're asking for money, always say no. The only times you ever say yes when they ask for money is when there's literally no other way to progress the sub-story if you don't. So if you're doing a sub-story and they're like, give me money, and you say no, and they're like, okay, bye, and then the sub-story is still there, and you still have to talk to them, and you have to give them money in order to progress the story, then you give them money. But otherwise, always say no. I wasn't even involved in that. That just kind of happened. It was cool, though. Look, I don't know how it is in Japan, but you can just tell the cops to go fuck themselves. Like, what are they gonna do? Arrest you? Like, okay, don't tell them to go fuck themselves, but you can just leave. If a cop stops you, say like, I'm sorry, officer, thank you for your service. I am not answering any questions at this time. Am I free to leave? And then just start walking away. And then if they're like, look, we just want to quit, be like, am I being detained? Officer, am I under arrest? And they'll say no. And then you'll say, well, then I must be free to leave. And then you walk the fuck away.
What?
Officer, am I under arrest? No. Well, then I must be free to leave. And if they say you are under arrest, you say, well, then I'm going to invoke the Fifth Amendment, and I will not be answering any questions until I have spoken to my attorney. Again, Japan's fucked up. Maybe it won't work in Japan. In Japan, they're bad. Japan is bad when it comes to this kind of thing. When it comes to authority figures abusing their bullshit. But in America, citizens have rights, and you can employ those rights. The cops can't fuck with you. And you say like, oh, well, they will. It's like, yeah, but you can get a lawyer. You're entitled to a lawyer. They'll just give you one. You don't even have to pay for it. Like, why make it easier for them? Like, yes, cops are gonna abuse their authority and do some bullshit. Why make it easier for them? Oh, it's blaming the victim. You're an idiot. Teaching people how not to be a victim isn't gonna fuck it. Anyway. Or they should be doing. Yeah, well, they're gonna. So, look, if you're gonna jump into the fucking ocean, you gotta learn how to handle sharks. Okay? Saying, well, shark attacks shouldn't happen isn't gonna change the fact that they do. So when they do, you gotta be ready for that shit. You gotta know to punch them in the face. Punch the cop in the face. I mean the shark. Punch the shark in the face. I don't remember if this sub-story was in the original game or not, to be honest. This strikes me as the kind of thing that would have been in the original game. Well, they're gonna kill him, Kiryu. Like, he's dead now. That man is dead. This strikes me as the kind of thing that would have been in the original game, but I can't specifically remember it.